Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the latest episode of Terrible Town Tuesday. I am your host, Sim Football Critic, and let's talk about this game, shall we? Now, most of us would be happy. You would think we would be excited and, very happy about the Steelers being 6-2 and, how they've been winning games, etc., etc. But, guys, we have to point out the concerns that I see, even with a 6-2 team. I will say this. Going into the bye, this is a perfect opportunity, to go in 6-2. Maybe you come out the second half 6-2 as well. That's a 12-4 season. That would be great, right? However, here's the thing that we always want to keep in mind. They do say, and we've all seen it, that the Tomlin teams are better in the second half. So we have an opportunity here. But we got to clean some things up, man. We have to clean some things up. And what I'm going to talk about first and foremost in this game against the Detroit Lions were the miscues, and there were a ton of them. I got my notations here, guys, but, very easy. I can run through those real quick, and then, we'll talk about a few other things, but I don't think there's a whole lot to really dive into in this game. We got the win, kind of ugly, but we'll talk about a few things. But let's talk about the miscues first. Eli's drop. We get the ball first, drive downfield. I thought it was great to throw, the fake bubble screen and what have you. We used to see that with Heath Miller a lot. Juju is able to sneak up the sideline. Maybe if Ben gets the ball out a little further, that might have been a touchdown. Who's to say, right? To get a deep shot right out the gate to Juju, we're moving the ball. Eli Rogers is wide open in the end zone. Ben hits him, unable to catch it. Can't have that. That's the first miscue. Now let's read off the rest of them. Ben throws an interception, forcing it to Antonio Brown. I tweeted out during the game, and, some people were saying, hey, give him the ball. I'm like, no, not in that situation. It was like three guys around Antonio Brown. And Quinn is able to come over the top and get the pick. Bell fumbles. Ben misses Haywood Bay in the end zone. Now, it could have been a better throw. And maybe, I don't know, maybe round the route off a little more. I don't know. But I would say I'll put that one on Ben. Ben missed him. He didn't miss him by much, but he missed him. He's wide open. That's another opportunity that was missed. Pass interference against Antonio Brown, which was pretty obvious. It happens in the NFL, guys. Guys push off all the time, but whenever you extend your arms like that, and maybe, the defender, Slade did embellish a little bit, but it is what it is. That's a miscue. Juju dropping the third down conversion. That's really all I can get on him about. He had an outstanding game, which we'll talk about. But, hey, late in the game, if he converts that third down, it's possible that the Steelers finish it on that drive. And I love what Ben Roethlisberger said. He said that Juju was so upset about that even after the game, where he says he appreciates the fact that he didn't walk around saying, hey, I had a big game and, gloating about what he did well. He was still upset about dropping that third down, which he knew could have been a huge conversion. I love that. That shows maturity. That shows he's a team first guy. It's good to see from a 20-year-old, right? Good stuff. And then also blown coverage by Vince Williams. I'm going to go deeper into that. There were a lot of blown coverages on the defense. And then Ben misses Jesse James wide open right before the big Juju play. Ben was still throwing some errant passes. Let me tell you this real quick, man. Then we'll dive deeper into what I want to talk about. Again, there's concerns, man, with Ben Roethlisberger. And, I salute Big Ben for his service. 14 years in the league that he's now in. It's a long time. Maybe he isn't the same quarterback. He's 35. He's taking a lot of shots. You know what I mean? He may not be like a Tom Brady that could play in his 40s. He might be more of a Brett Favre, where you saw how it happened, with Brett at the end of his career. He still had capabilities to win, but, he wasn't the exact same Brett Favre. However, when he played with Minnesota, he was looking sharp. But what I'm saying is, I still think we can win with Ben Roethlisberger. I think Ben still has it, but it just doesn't seem to always be there. I don't know. The throw to Juju was perfect, right on the money, but there were other throws that he's just missing, that he doesn't normally miss. Think about the years past. He doesn't miss a lot of these throws that he's missing, especially the one to Jesse James. Could it have been a better throw to Haywood Bay? Absolutely. Little stuff like that. He just doesn't appear to seem to be the same Ben Roethlisberger. However, I think we can still win with Ben. But I really think if Ben analyzes himself after this season, we'll see how the second half plays out. If it continues the way it's going, this is the reason why I think he retires, whether we win the Super Bowl or not, because I don't know. Maybe he knows something that we don't, but from, the eye test, he doesn't appear to be the same Roethlisberger. However, I think he still, in my opinion, he should be able to still play better than he has been playing. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, let's talk about a couple things here, guys. Juju Smith-Schuster. Wow. What a game by Juju. Now, you saw a lot of people, even myself, we were joking on Twitter saying, well, there goes Martavis Bryant's job. Here's the thing. It's not just because Juju had a great game. I mean, obviously, that's the obvious. But what I'm saying is Juju is a more complete receiver, in my opinion, than Martavis Bryant. Martavis Bryant has become somewhat of a one-trick pony. He's going to go deep. He's becoming more of a decoy. And, he's run a couple slant patterns and things like that. I was even at the game a few years ago against the Cardinals when he took that long slant, from Landry Jones to the house, which was a beautiful thing to see in person, seeing that speed up close and personal. But I don't think he's a complete receiver like Juju as far as route running and the little nuances. You're starting to see Juju do these things. Very good listener. Even Antonio Brown said after the game he follows everything he does. And the kid is 20 years old. And he's already showing that raw talent. You know what I mean? And just playing above the level that you would expect from a young rookie. Again, with the route running, the blocking. Even though Martavis Bryant has done a good job blocking this year. But I think you guys understand what I'm saying. We're already seeing Juju run different routes. You know what I'm saying? Lining them up in the slot, which is a mismatch. Things like that. I think it's safe to say that Juju may have become the number 2 receiver right now. We'll see what happens after the bye. Maybe that lights a fuse under Martavis Bryant, and maybe that gives us the edge. Again, if we can put that roster out there, AB on the outside, Martavis on the outside showing up, and then Juju being able to play inside or out, that is also, a nightmare for defenses now. Because now maybe Juju is getting a little more respected, which will leave Martavis Bryant in more one-on-one situations. I don't know. I still think there's an opportunity for him. It is Tuesday, guys. I haven't heard as of yet, but maybe by the end of the day, he gets traded. I don't know. We'll see. But if he remains on the team, I think it's still opportunity for him. But Juju, to me, clearly has outplayed him, hands down. And, man, just seeing, how he ran that route and then listening to what Roethlisberger said, he told him after the game, after another play, he had the similar look. He said Juju tried to, beat the guy with route running or make a move, at the line. And Ben told him, listen, if we get that look again, just beat him with speed. And Juju does the, quick inside to outside release, then goes back into the middle of the field to split the safeties, catches the pass, and then he houses it. He's not known as the fastest guy. I think he ran like a sub 4.5, which, let's not get it twisted, that's still a fast person. It's not 4.4, 4.3, but 4.5, you still rolling. And he showed off. He showed this necessary speed to get to the end zone. 97 yards. Sets a Steeler record. Beautiful thing to see. But like I said, it wasn't just that play. Just look at the other catches he made. A catch where he went for like 21 yards or so, where he stiff-armed 2 guys. Like Juju was making some nice plays in that game, seals the game with the shovel pass. It was just great to see. The kid opened the game with a deep catch, and then he seals the game with the shovel pass. And like I said, we do have to look at the fact that he didn't catch that 3rd down. You got to, strike him for that, but he had a great game. So look out. Juju definitely may be a factor going forward, which I expect him to be. Let's talk about a couple other things. Let me look at my notes, guys, because like I said, the way I'm starting to do this, a lot of times I do it off the top of the head, and I don't really chronologize everything anymore. If things jump out at me, like, the first drive I was going to talk about, which I already did, I definitely liked the first defensive possession where, we basically, what happened there is we blew up the first down for a 4-yard loss. Burns gives up a big play downfield. It was a nice pass breakup by Davis on Ebron, and the Steelers hold to a field goal. Now, the reason why I said I liked it, because I liked how they started out. You know, they're letting the Lions know this ain't going to be no easy day. At least that's what it appeared to be, and then we give up the big play. So let's just talk about that in general. The Steelers defense allowed 400-plus yards in the air. I think Stafford was 423, something crazy like that. And over, 480-something yards total? Not a good look. You got to give them credit for goal line and red zone defense, though. They showed up. They showed up big time, only allowing 3 points. You know, snuffing out 4th and goals and 4th to go. You know, you got to give them credit for that. However, I want to say a couple things about the pass defense. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people were thinking it was while watching the game. First and foremost, you have to give credit to Matthew Stafford. This guy's a quarterback. Now, I made a comment on Twitter saying, you know, Steelers finally face a real quarterback and you see what happens. And, you know, I got people tweeting me, what do you mean real quarterback? People take things too literal, man. What I'm saying is Matthew Stafford is a top-tier quarterback, in my opinion. He has the arm talent. He's smart. Sometimes he makes the mistakes like everybody, but he has top-tier arm talent. He will challenge you. He will sling it. He can get rid of the ball fast. He can make some moves in the pocket, get outside of the pocket. You know what I mean? We haven't really faced anybody like that so far, and we were tested. And I think it was good to be tested like that. Same way I felt before Aaron Rodgers got hurt. I was like, you know what? I really want to see how we're going to play against that type of talent. Because the ultimate goal, guys, is to get to the playoffs and win a Super Bowl. And we got to go through New England. New England comes to Heinz Field in week, 16, I believe that is, or whatever, 15, one of those. And that's what it's all about. Are we going to be able to beat Brady? So seeing how we play against other quarterbacks that have great talent is a measuring stick. And I think you have to credit Matthew Stafford. I mean, even some of the throws he made, it was just a great throw. There were times where, you know, you would think it was blown coverage, where there was a lot of them. But there was times where coverage was right. You know, it was cover 2, and Stafford trusted his arm and was able to get the ball in between the safety and the corner like nothing. Perfect passes. You know, Mike Mitchell is not going to get over that fast to contest the throw. So it's, you know, sometimes you just got to take it for what it is. You know, you look around the NFL and you look at some of the best defenses, and guys, it happens. Look at Seattle yesterday. Well, Sunday. Look at that. Deshaun Watson throws for over 400 yards. Yeah, he gets 3 picks, but still, he was carving up the Seattle defense. You know, you look at the game from Monday night. You know, Denver's defense was getting carved up from time to time. So, you know, we can't act like that we're going to make every play. Now, here's the part where I got to give them criticism. There were a lot of blown coverages. You know, if you go back and look at the film like I do, or even if you listen and pay attention while you're watching the game, and the commentator, you know, most of the time is an ex-player like a Collinsworth or a Tony Romo or somebody like that, they tell you exactly what went wrong. They tell you exactly what went wrong in the situation. You'd see Artie Burns still has an issue from time to time where he peaks in the backfield. You know, and it's funny because on one of those deep shots to Marvin Jones, I think it was, Artie had great coverage at the beginning of that. Great coverage. He's right there. But then he's caught looking in the backfield. It's a scramble drill, and then Jones gets behind him. Now, good thing Artie has enough speed to catch up, but that time he couldn't break up the pass. But little things like that, these things are correctable. There were a couple times where they saw, you know, they showed Joe Hayden was biting on the inside route and then let the guy, you know, quick double move, go up the seam or whatever, or up the sideline, and another deep shot. There were times with Vince Williams clearly blew a coverage. You know, it was some blown coverages happening in the game, yes. So these things are fixable. You know, in my opinion, our defense has improved this year. Whether you guys want to agree with that or not, we have a much better pass defense. You know, with the addition of Hilton, with Hayden. Hayden has helped the Steelers greatly. He might not be the Joe Hayden from 5-6 years ago, but he has definitely helped us. Sean Davis is playing better. He's making more plays, saved a touchdown. Making more plays out there. Mike Mitchell, pretty much still playing the same. I don't really see him being rangy, but we know what Mike Mitchell is. We got to just admit to that. Robert Golden came in and made a little bit of a difference, held it down. So you got to look at that. Artie Burns has improved. Yeah, he still has some little things to work out, but he's a second-year player. And technically this would have been his rookie season had he stayed in college. He's came out a year early, so he's still in development, but he's improving. So what I'm saying is, there's no way as a Steelers fan that you still think our pass defense sucks or they're just not that good. They are a lot better. I would imagine when we play New England, we're going to play them a little differently. I think we're going to throw more man coverage at them and then mix in zone from time to time. And our pressure has been better. Now, that's the thing right there. We didn't get a lot of pressure in that game. And even the times when we got pressure, we allowed Stafford to get outside, extended the play, much like how we've seen Big Ben do in years past. So these things are going to happen. I didn't like seeing them give up that many pass yards, but I love the fact that they, locked it down when it got down into that red zone and didn't give up any touchdowns. You didn't give Matthew Stafford any touchdowns. That's huge. That's huge. So, don't beat yourself up, guys, about the defense saying, oh, they're not. Listen, man, again, we got to see how this thing plays out, but they played a top-tier quarterback. He did his thing. We didn't get a lot of pressure. We had a couple sacks, but we didn't get the pressure that we are used to seeing. You got to give that offensive line credit. Nobody thought that would happen, but it did. Stafford was able to get out of the pocket, and there you have it. But I think they're going to be okay. I think they're definitely going to be okay, man. So don't beat yourselves up over that just yet. Offensively, man, miscues was this game. We did convert third downs a little better. That improved a little bit. I think we were about 50%. If I'm not mistaken, I think we were 7 for 14. So that's improved. I'd like to see it a little better. Red zone opportunity, I want to say we were 1 for 3. But again, you got 2 big drops. That should have been touchdowns. Eli Rogers, that's a sure touchdown right there. Haywood Bay, that should have been a touchdown. So you look at it from that standpoint, it isn't as bad as the stats would show. The opportunities were there. We didn't take advantage of them. But all in all, man, I like where we are at this point, knowing that we are a second half type of team as far as the season. If they can improve off of what has already been shown, I think the Steelers could definitely make a run for it. I really do. Let's look at it from that standpoint. First part of the season is over. They went 6-2. If this team improves going forward, I think the Steelers are going to be a tough outing. Very tough team. And I think it could be possible that they might beat the Patriots this year. We'll have to see. So that's how I'm assessing it right now, guys. I'm appreciating the 6-2 record. Good to see that. But hey, we got to see some of these areas get cleaned up. Definitely got to see some of these areas get cleaned up. Those miscues killed us. And, we got to tighten up that defense a little bit, because even though I understand we're playing a good quarterback, I still don't want to see us give up that much. Especially not on the big stage. Guys seem to be wide open. But like I said, if you go back and look at film for some of you guys who have the all 22, or even if you just go back and look at some of the plays, from different angles, it was some blown coverages, man. So that's communication. You know what I mean? And these are the things that I put on the players. Players have to communicate. You continue to hear them say that after the game, and yeah, that's right. Why they're not seeming to do it all the time, I don't know, but they have to communicate in order to be successful. So there you have it, man. Again, I like where they are right now. I like the balance that I'm starting to see offensively. Again, I don't like Ben Roethlisberger, the way he's playing right now. He's a little iffy, but I think he still has enough that we can win with him. Excuse me. Because there are going to be times like this game where the run is not all the way there, and Ben is still going to have to put it on his shoulders. Percentage-wise, he still didn't look good as far as completions. And again, there were some throws that he missed clearly. He's not the same. But maybe if we can get ourselves reassessed, he can hone back in. I think he does still have the skills. He's just not showing it right now for whatever reason. Or maybe he just doesn't. I don't know. We'll see. But let's see how the second half of the season goes, man. And, hey, I'm happy to be 6-2 and happy to be going into the bye, we don't have to have any stress on us this week watching football. We could just be regular fans of football. You know what I mean? So that's all I got, man, for this particular episode. Let me make sure there wasn't anything else that was important. I already talked about the Hayden double move. Oh, give a huge shout out to Hargrave and Williams and Alu stepping up big, and Sean Davis. All of those guys were so key, huge, man, down in the red zone as far as red zone defense. I love it. But I think that's all I got, man. Let me see. I was going to talk about the turning point of the game, which obviously was that Juju touchdown. Stopping those guys on the 4th down. Alu makes the tackle, and then taking that deep shot on the 3rd and 9. That was a huge turning point. And I wanted to say here, the run game doesn't seem to be as good without Vance McDonald. Vance McDonald has done a lot in the run game, in case some of you guys haven't noticed. Doesn't seem to be as good without him. So we're going to see what happens when he comes back. And, yeah, that's about all I got, man. So we're going to get healthy. You expect to get guys back like, Tuitt and, Marcus Gilbert. And, hey, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Cam Sutton. Are they going to bring him back? And if he does he get any playing time? I don't think he'd take Mike Hilton's job, not at all. But maybe he gets some rotation in the dime, like when, William Gay comes in there. We'll see. So arrows definitely pointed up, like Mike Tomlin would say. Happy about that. And that's where we'll end it. All right. So I'll catch you guys, man, next Tuesday. I will do a show still on Tuesday, and we'll just talk about the upcoming matchup against the Colts. We'll allow that to be the pregame. And I know I've been slipping on those guys, so forgive me for that. But I will definitely be back at you guys next Tuesday. And hope you guys enjoy. For you guys who have kids, be safe tonight while you do your trick-or-treat thing. And outside of that, here we go, Steelers. All right? Catch you guys the next time. Y'all be easy. Peace.